this is the source of the background noise that you'll hear throughout this entire video. My apologies in advance. We've shut it down in preparation to change the oil for the very first time. It's only been run a few hours on a 25% load. But you'll notice something underneath that that's rather disturbing. Is that an oil leak? Let's check that out. Pure oil. Oil leaking all over the place. That's disturbing. There's a plug right here, and that plug was undone. So I think I'm glad that the plug was undone because it allowed the oil to drip out the bottom. But I don't understand why the plug is there. It wasn't plugged in, it was just sitting there. I never noticed it before, and it certainly doesn't say anything in any manual about it or any other videos I've seen. But it does look like that's where the oil would have been dripping out of. Okay, so let me clean this up and we'll get started with the oil change. I did read a review. Ouch! It's a little too warm still. I did read a review that this should really be a larger compartment opening. It is very difficult to get in there. Very difficult. It's... The other thing about this setup is they provided you with the tools, some tools, but not the daily maintenance tools. This is a 10mm wrench, and I guess I need a much shorter wrench because it is just almost impossible to get in there. Got to be a better solution than this. There we go. Now the reason we're doing an oil change now is because of the metal shreds that are in a new motor. But it makes a big mess. You see there? The draining doesn't even line up with the hole. So I did see someone else tell me that it needed to be tilted a bit and that you would probably be able to get it to line right up. This is almost 100 pounds. I think it's like 98 pounds. It might be 105. I don't know. But it's too heavy for me to tilt. Especially when it has to be elevated on cans like that. Watching it drain for oil is just like watching grass grow, or watching paint dry. But there's the oil drain right there. Alright. Okay, I'm probably asking for trouble here. But yeah, this really works. Get your workout for the day. Nothing like having 105 pounds dropped in your crotch. I bought this generator for two purposes. The main purpose is for power outages out here at the camp house in a very remote area of South Texas. We have power here, but a storm or bad weather can knock it out. But for fun, I want to be able to have a power backup at the campground for the Renaissance Fair. That's kind of a bad sign. I put a little too much oil in there. So we're going to do a very slight tip to bring some of it out onto this towel and discard of it properly. You can see now where the oil has recessed back a little bit because I had tipped it up a little bit to get it out of there. I'm sure you've heard the saying, do what I do and not what I say, or do what I say and not what I do. In this situation, don't do anything I say and don't do anything I do. It's going to get you in trouble. We're going to try to line this up so we don't cross threads again. And you see that it is not even twisting at all. Okay, it looks like it might be a little bit easier now. Let's see. It seems to be going in wobbly. Right there. You see that? That's where I had cross-threaded it. So now we got to get around that cross-threading. In this little bitty tiny compartment. I'm going to set this over here before I start saying things that you don't want to hear. Okay? It's in. Hallelujah. I tell you, I've been out here for at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just trying to change the oil. This compartment is too tiny. You can't get in there to work. Okay, I'm making excuses. I'm a little bit frustrated. I've busted up all of my knuckles. I've cut my hands. I've got oil spilled all over the place. I had an oil plug. The dipstick plug is cross-threaded. I had to recut the threads. But I got it in there. I think it's done. I think it's done. So let's take a moment, take a look at the oil that came out of it, because this is a necessity. Do not buy this generator new. Fill it up, take it out to the job site or campsite or whatever and run it, thinking that you're in the clear, because you're not. And I'll show you why. Look at the color of this oil that came out of it. Notice anything interesting? Look at all the sparkles. See all the sparkles? Look at all that. Look at all of those metal shavings. And those metal shavings would be stuck in there if I had not changed the oil right now. I run it on propane because it's a cleaner fuel. It's less efficient, but it's cleaner. It should be better on the motor and everything else. Let me give you some advice. Accessorize that right now. You'll have to have that 10 millimeter to change the oil. And a little tiny pair of pliers so you can get in there and get that dipstick. But the best thing that you could possibly do for your toolkit is to get yourself a friend with really long, tiny, skinny, 6-jointed fingers to get into that little bitty box. Yep. That, my friend, was a nightmare. I cannot tell you how frustrating that has been. We finished the project. It's done. And I'm not looking forward to doing it again, but at least I'm prepared. Enjoy your day. I keep looking down because I keep looking down at the mess that I made. It's a mess too. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye. My idea of pouring the oil into this other container to use it as a measuring device, no, don't do it. Do not do that. It was a disaster. In fact, that really should be cut out of this video completely. Yeah, that definitely should be cut out of this video completely. Because that was pretty stupid.